What's up, anyone watching this video? I haven't made a video like this in a long time because, I've been doing a lot better. But these past couple days, I really haven't. And if somebody asked me that question, are you doing okay? I'd say, yeah, I'm doing okay. And it's been 3 months since I broke up with a girl. She broke up with me. And the reason why I started to make this video was because of an Instagram story she posted of her and her new boyfriend, I guess, See, the thing is that boy that she's dating now, she talked to him the second after we broke up. When I mean second, I mean the second, And I kind of saw it coming because I feel like that night, we got into a fight. Not really a fight, but an argument. And as most people can tell me, that argument wasn't valid. It is valid to me because that's who I am. And what happened was I checked her phone. Like I always do in the morning, because I love to go on her phone just doing random things. And when I scrolled into a group chat, I saw her talking to a boy, snapping back and forth in a group chat, like back and forth constantly, like 1 minute intervals, And I asked questions and she was like, she didn't answer them and she answered them like she was hiding something, Like she kind of scared. And so what I did was, I was like, nah, I can't do this right now. Because it was a Friday, I was having such a good day. So I needed to take some time for myself and think about it. And when I did that, she took it the wrong way. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, I can't. And I kept begging her, and, I was begging her to stay. I was giving her power that she didn't deserve over me. I was saying, please, I need you, in my life. And she didn't really show any remorse. She kind of just left and said, sorry, 4 days after the breakup, I did something that I would never, ever, ever forget. I almost killed myself. I'm not gonna build up to it. I'm not gonna build up to it slowly and say, But frankly, I almost killed myself. I went in the woods and I brought a knife with me and started cutting my body, and it was bad. Went to the hospital, and that's where kind of everything started. That's where everything started, where I was able to, grow from the bottom. Because by this point, I was at the bottom, I didn't care about school anymore. I didn't care about anything, And I was just at the bottom of my life where I was crying every day, and and as much as I wanted to kill myself, as much as I wanted to just give up and just jump off a roof, I kept going. No matter how hard it was, I kept going, It was very hard to keep going. I had zero energy in me, because all I could think about, all my energy was going to her, checking her Instagram, checking her Snapchat, checking everything about her. That shit was not good for me. And so I made a really very good choice by deleting social media. Very excellent choice by me. I'm very proud of myself for that. Not because, it's bad for me, because it is very bad for me, because I knew I wouldn't, I knew I couldn't do it. But somehow I did, and I'm surprised, I'm happy, I'm proud of myself for that. And as days go by, you know, it was very hard, you know. I always had thoughts I kept overthinking, but I was like, this isn't what I want. You know, I want to be better than who I was. So, I kept going to the gym more consistently. I kept praying to God, getting closer to God more consistently. I kept, doing all these things that benefit me as a person more consistently. Being closer to my family, doing things that I love more consistently, trying new things. And there was just one moment that I was doing very, very good. And frankly, like, when I tell you this, I mean this, like, I didn't know that she was talking to a boy. I didn't know that she broke up with me because of this boy. I thought it was because I needed to work on myself, because I wasn't communicating well. I wasn't being the best boyfriend I could have been. And maybe 3 weeks after, till I found, a spot where I put this together. And that, I looked at it, I was like, there's no way this is real, right? Like, and it was the same boy. I'll never forget the time where I looked at it and my heart began to race faster than I've ever seen it, It was like basically crawling out of my body, because I was like, this can't be happening, This is really what she broke up with me was. And there's a text message I remember sending her. I said, did you plan this? I said, did you plan to break up with me? And the second she said no, I knew she was lying. Because I knew that this was the boy that she wanted over me, And I just want you to know, like, we dated for about almost a year. And but that's how life goes. I can't, as much as I wanted it to change, as much as I wanted it to be better, that's not how life goes, because a tough thing for a very, as most people say, a very tough pill for me to swallow is, that I'm never gonna be with her again. As much as I want to be, much as I want to see your smile, I want to see her again, be with her, talk to her, see your family again, as much as I want to see that, do all that, I'm not, I'm never gonna be with her again. I'm never gonna, there's gonna be a certain time in the future where just be the last day of school when I see her, and that's it. That's it for the rest of my life. And that's a very tough pill for me to swallow, because when I get attached to somebody, I don't let go. Like, I'm not in a bad way where I can't let go, but in a way where you mean something to me, And a lot of people haven't realized it's not a bad thing. That's something most people don't have, because a lot of people they can get attached to someone, they can get attached to something, and often treat it like it's nothing. After, they're kind of forced to break off. And that's a trait that sometimes I wish I had, but sometimes I know that it's not good. And then most of the time, I know that's not what I truly want, And that's how I love. Let me get some water. The thing is I think the hardest thing about, going through this breakup was, it was definitely being alone, Because being alone when you had somebody to talk to, someone to call, someone to just consistently, talk to, have in your daily life, in your daily routine. Not having that anymore is a huge, huge change, and it took me a while to realize that. you know. And it was coming home from school, just hopping on call for right away and just talk about anything, doing and laughing, and just from going home, sitting in silence and not knowing what to do with my day, I think that's one of the biggest parts. And for me, I think now this huge change, when you're alone most of the time, you start to reach out more because, you want someone to talk to, you want someone to fill that hole. And when you have filled that hole, you text your people, hey, you want to go hang out? You want to go outside? You want to hang out? You want to play video games? You want to do all this stuff. But in reality, you're masking something that that can't be replaced, but you're trying your best to replace it, And that's not good. For me, if I had to give someone a really good piece of advice for being alone, because being alone is very, very hard after being attached to somebody who reached out to you first, who had all these, who made time for you. But, if I had to give advice, it's that find peace when you're alone. You don't need somebody, to constantly be with. But find peace when you're alone, because that's when you're most peaceful. Because that's when you don't need somebody, Because when you're in peace, as long as if you're in peace with yourself, you're in peace with anybody around you. And if you're not in peace with yourself, but you're in peace with everyone around you, that peace is gonna break because you're not emotionally connected to yourself, and that's not good. And there's be a certain point in your life where you're gonna find that peace of yourself, you're gonna find happiness of yourself, and you have to stick with it. You have to be consistent with it. Because I'm trying my best to do that right now, but it's very hard because I always want someone to be with. I always want someone to talk to, but in reality, that's not how it's gonna work. As much as I want it to be, as much as I want someone to talk to, that's not how it's gonna be for a while. That's okay. When I tell you that I'm emotionally done, I am. I really am. I really just want to take my life, not because, not only because of my ex-girlfriend, but because I can't. It's hard. I can't keep being this mature kid. I'm trying really hard not to cry, but not to have suicidal thoughts and just end my life, but I feel like one day it's gonna win. So if you have anybody, in your life that you see that might scare you because you're scared that they're not doing so well, please check up on them. Because I would do anything right now for someone to just text me, are you okay? And I'd say, I'm okay. I said, you can tell me. I just pour up on them because I don't know. I just really need to get this out to someone. And, I don't know. I really hope I do find my peace again. Find myself. I really hope that I'll be okay. Because right now I'm just not okay. I want to be alone. At the same time I don't. I want somebody, but at the same time I don't want anybody. It's just weird, and You know, like, just don't know what to do anymore. Anyways. Sometimes I wish that this wasn't me, you know? Sometimes I wish that I wasn't like this because, frankly, I'm not, you know, regular, as most people might call it. Because first of all, I'm Asian, you know? I have a really weird name. I have multiple things, you know, I have asthma. My eyesight was born very, very poorly. I have pectus excavatum, which makes me, it's very hard to do a lot of things. I have flat feet, you know, I have all these things. But I want you to be grateful. I am grateful. Even though it's hard to convince myself that I am. And you should be too. Wanna why? Because you have a body. Not a lot of people were born with that. Not a lot of people even had a second to live. You have legs. Even if you don't have legs, you have arms. If you don't have arms, you have eyes. If you don't have eyes, you know, you have ears. You can listen to this video. If you don't have ears, you know, you have all, but I know you have something. You have a heart that, you know, that you have something that anyone would sacrifice anything for. And why are you wasting it? You have legs that can run, so go run. You have arms that could do push-ups, then go do push-ups. You have all these things that can make you a better person. You have a mind that can, you know, just helps, and you have a voice that could help somebody stop from killing themselves. So why don't you go do that? Don't talk to somebody that you're worried about. But I'm telling you, you have all these things. You have a roof above your head. If you don't, you have clothes. If you don't, you know, you have, but I'm telling you, you do. Stop convincing yourself with all the bad things that you do have. But why don't you start being grateful for things you do have? You know, stop trying to compare your life to others, you know. Oh, their life is so perfect because they have a lot of money. Their life is so perfect because they have this beautiful girl. You know, why do you care? Why? Because you want that? No, you care because you don't know what you want. You're mad. You're behind a wall where you only see, you know, good things about them. But in reality, you know, they could be, let's say, you see your dream car going down the street, you know, like a yellow Lamborghini going down the street, and like, damn, what I would do to get that car. But do you know what could be going through their mind? They could be driving home to kill themselves. They could be, you know, plan themselves to kill themselves because they miss their mom or something, and you have a mom. You know, that's what I'm saying, because you have something that they want, but you have something that they want that is that you want something that they have. You know, it's all transactional, but you need to focus on you because you're equal to anybody as long as you focus on yourself. Okay. And that's what I need to learn, because I've been very jealous of people. I've been very ungrateful for what I have, and you know, it's not good for me. You know, I'm just done. Like, I just can't do this anymore. I'm sorry. I really just need to take a break and I'm just so emotionally depressed, and I don't feel like going anymore. I really don't have it in me to do it anymore. Lost everything.